Hello and welcome to Kinneff Old Church, or Kinneff Old Kirk as it's called locally, and this is where the replica crown jewels are kept. These are called the Honours, H-O-N-O-U-R-S. Enjoy. This is Kinneff Old Kirk, or Kinneff Old Church. Kirk means church, and it says the church is open. And I think it's 24 hours a day. But the full-sized replica of the Scottish crown jewels are in here. And I'm going to show you. Up those stairs will take you to a second set of replica crown jewels made out of dried flowers. Truth? Would I lie to you? They've been there for 5 or 6 years to my knowledge. And this is the door going in to where the replica crown jewels life-size are kept, in a plexiglass case, for obvious reasons. It stops people running about and waving the swords at each other. There I go. I'm getting all the shots. That's the different notices in there. You can see Kinneff Kirk just means church. And the second one says Honours of Scotland, meaning the crown jewels of Scotland. And the third one back is about the discovery of the crown jewels. And behind that, the plexiglass case with the life-sized crown jewels. These are notices to this side about the lost villages. There's quite a few around here, and I've been to them. Well, we're spending some time up this part of the country. There's a map. The yellow bit says you are here. And you are. You're in Kinneff Old Kirk. And here is the replica crown jewels. They look identical to the real ones in Edinburgh. The difference is these are free and you'll pay an arm and 5 legs to see the ones in Edinburgh if they're on show. And this is the tapestry about how they were hidden in the church under the pulpit. Beautiful things, well worth the visit to see. And I've never, ever, ever come here, and I've been here 5 times, when there's been anybody else here, unless they came with me. This is all the literature referring to it. And you can pick up different things here. Now, as you can see, the whole church is run on gift aid and donations, and they're asking just for £2. I always I put a tenner or 20 quid in. That's pounds, English pounds. It's well worth it because it's very little used, it's very private, you can do all your videos or pray if you want. That's what it's for, it's a church. But a lot of history, and you have to read what's on the walls to see the amount of history. It's huge. I'm going to show you some of the plaques on the wall, and I'll show them slowly. But if you want to read them, just stop your video and have a read. I had to struggle against the light shining in the windows, so I'm sorry about that. But it was a really bright day. I shouldn't apologise for that. That's the pulpit, where up to the front of it and underneath was where the replica crown jewels were stored. A very brave lady that rode them around. Her husband, the minister, lowered them over the wall out of Dunnottar Castle, and she rode around to Kinneff, and they were lifted all the flagstones in front of the pulpit. Not saying it's where it was now, but they lifted all the flags, wrapped the stuff in animal skins and hid it. And every 6 months or so, they'd lift it all out again, and they would clean it and oil it and put it back again. And this went on for 8 or 9 years. Quite a feat, and a lot of courage used. For those of you into reading the Latin, I did learn it at 60 odd years ago at school, but this is a bit beyond me. I only know several words now and the dates and things like that. I went to a school where you had to take the Gaelic and Latin. Hard luck. More Latin. If you can't read Latin, then you've had it. I could read that one, some of it, and the inscriptions down the side and across the bottom. Now this one's not in Latin, so most of us are okay. It's the minister who was 52 years a minister of the Church of Scotland. I'll say you can stop it and read it. And that's about the car park. It's also a war graves here, I should hasten to add. So it's well looked after. And this is next door. One to the left is Edinburgh Castle. That's where the honours were taken. That's the Scottish Crown Jewels that are called the honours, to celebrate the confirmation or the coronation of Charles II. After the coronation, the honours were taken to Dunnottar Castle. That's the real honours. For safekeeping before Cromwell's army took the castle, the honours were smuggled out and taken to Kinneff Church. The third one shows the honours were hidden under the floor of the church for almost 9 years, and they were returned to Edinburgh Castle in 1660. You can see what it says. I'm not telling you lies. And that's the presentation. It's magical. Best kept secret in Scotland. Why go to Edinburgh and queue up to see them if they're on display, when you can come here and see the replicas over there for a few pound donation to the church? Woohoo! The lid's screwed down. It stops, as I said, people getting the sword out and fighting each other. But the history, just the history alone here is phenomenal. And I can't understand anybody that's been up East Coast Scotland and not been here, except for the fact it's not well publicised. Just the fact I'm there on my own all the time tells you all you need to know. I'm not saying they won't coach loads. Nobody does. You wouldn't get a coach up and down anyway to it. And some people couldn't walk up and down. But there is a car park in front.
Now, when you've walked up these stairs, no great if you're disabled. Not practical. And before you go onto the balcony in the church, looky, looky. A replica of the crown jewels, made out of dried flowers. Absolutely, and it's not nailed down, which is a wonder. This is the balcony. Looking down on the pulpit. That's next door's garden. The gentleman's got something to do with the trust that owns this church. And there's a cow and a calf in his garden. Yeah, really cute.
He may, of course, have nothing to do with the church. It's just I thought he had. But the house is for sale. So, and I don't think the church is. So maybe he hasn't got anything to do with it. But he lives next door to it, as you can see. So it's worth going just to have a quick look at the cattle. I wouldn't go in his garden, it's private. But you can certainly take photographs and shoot videos and so on. But it's a bonny place to come, nice and quiet, nice and peaceful. And as I say, on the modern side of the graveyard, it's also war graves. So it's very well kept up, in very good condition. Grass is always short and everything's presentable. I've just done a 360. I should be dizzy now. And this is out a view from the front end of the church. The front's actually on the side. It's a peculiar one to describe. And there's the modern graveyard across that wall there in front of you. And the war graves are in there and so on. There's just see more modern tombstones and so on. And that's your lot for Kinneff Old Church. And as I'm fond of saying, ta-ra the new Jimmy. Bye bye.